It's just like I was grabbing. The sun is rising so late now. I have to like wake up and get ready in the dark. I hate doing. I have to hike in the dark. The days are getting short so fast. Well, it's only 8:30 in the morning and it's already so hot. Melting. And I'm in a stupid road walk, so that doesn't help. But it's already like 25 degrees. I'm so humid. It's gonna be really hot today. It's already hot now. What a pretty little beach. How nice. I think this is the sketchy part where I have to take my backpack off and squeeze through a hole. Look at that, you have to crawl. Ridiculous. I don't know what you're supposed to do to crawl through there if you're like a larger person. Like literally what? Yeah, I guess I figure out how to go through this broken tunnel. Oops. And then I pull my backpack through. I'm generally a claustrophobic person. This is not typically something I like, but like you can see the other side, so it's not a big of a deal. But I do have to like crawl on my belly to get through this. It's ridiculous. This is very funny. I think theoretically. I don't know what I'm saying. I could go around, but it's like kind of dangerous. So I squeeze through this little tunnel. Oh, ouch. Okay. Go over here. Oh my god. Ow! I keep hitting my head. Okay. And then I crawl down there. This is so ridiculous. There we go. I don't really trust these chains, but here they are. Wait. Super safe. Alright, I'm gonna climb up and get you. From up, all the way from up there, down these sketchy ladder things. And then now we go through this. Which I just put my backpack on. It's probably too big now. Oh, maybe if I just. Alright. Wait. We're just gonna squeeze. Squeeze through here. Okay, the trekking poles are in the way. Oh my gosh. Oy. Probably should have taken my backpack off again. The poles are going away. Okay, I gotta do this. I can't do it one-handed. Well, I've never had to squeeze through a tunnel on a through hike like that before. That's kind of cool. To be honest, I was a little nervous about that part. I knew it was coming, like soonish. I'm gonna fall off of these. They're slippery. Because I'm not super cool with tunnels and squeezing through places that I don't necessarily fit. But that was actually totally fine. There was lots of light. The only part that was like even remotely kind of like was the very first part when you have to slide your pack and then like army crawl through. But I was small enough that it was like no big deal. So yeah. For anyone tall or wider than a small female, I don't know what to tell you. There must be another way around.
Started leaning that way, 4 tires cut into the clay. it dries up and now there's just one road to take. It's growing up over with green, so easy to drive on, but not what it seems. The poison is spilling up.
This trail is a bit ridiculous. It's like just along the edge of the water, but it's not really a trail at all. You're just sort of like climbing over rocks and boulders and trees and scratchy plants. It's pretty though. So these metal bars are helpful because the cliff is like non-existent in some spots. But in the sun, they're burning the crap out of my hands. They're so hot. How stupid.
Who told you that you were no good? There's no use in trying.
Yeah, this is like gonna be way more fun to kayak than to hike. 100%. I just had the nicest afternoon with some of the nicest people I've met on trail. So lovely. So on the map was just like a pin that said restaurant. It said restaurant, and I was like, oh, I've been waiting to get there all day because I just really wanted like a cold Coca-Cola. And I didn't even look at the name of the restaurant. Well, it's restaurant or like bar of the camp of naturists, and I didn't even cross my mind until I get, you know, within like 500 meters, and all of a sudden everyone is naked, and I was like, oh, well, it's a really nice hot day for a swim, whatever. And then I like walk up the path towards the restaurant and realize, oh, naturist, as in nudist. So the restaurant is in a nudist camp. So I was like, all right, cool. Like, let's check it out. So I go to the little shop, and I'm waiting in line, chatting with people, and it's like older guys chatting with me, asking about my trip, whatever, because I'm like, I stand out. I'm there with a backpack. Everyone else is naked. So anyway, he was like, oh yeah, here, let me get your Coke and ice cream. You know, it's on me. I'm like, oh, thanks. Anyway, so I walk outside and he's like, oh, come sit with us. It's him and his friend. They're both retired from the Netherlands. And they're just the nicest people. They're both there as friends. He used to come here with his late partner. It's her first time, but they've become friends because both of their partners passed recently. And they both sing in a choir together. Anyway, it's just like the loveliest people. So we just spent like 2-3 hours chatting. And then there were other people there that came over and chatted, and they wanted to know about the trip. And all of this is done while everybody's naked. And it was in the shade, and it was super beautiful, and it was so nice. It was so nice to just chat with such lovely, lovely humans. I was like so tempted to just stay there and camp because everyone was so nice. But I had only hiked like 15 kilometers, so I have to keep moving. But it's a really nice way to spend like the hottest part of the day because, oh my god, it's so hot out. Yeah, and they just kept feeding me. So brought over yogurt and fruit and more sparkling water, and now I feel very hydrated and great. And anyway, that was just really lovely. I would highly recommend it as a stop, and if you can camp there, even better. I was like, oh, where does the trail go? Well, you see those little metal bars up there? That's where it goes. Lol. Cool. Alright, it's time for like a proper river crossing, so I'm gonna go across to there. Let's go. Yeah, I'm like halfway through the river. That was like a really weird crossing because you have to walk up the river over a bunch of stones and then to this like shallow bit where I can cross. So that was interesting. But basically all the rocks are covered in algae and they're really slippery, so it's fun. Turned out to be a much longer day than I had originally anticipated. I still have like 4 kilometers to camp. It's like 7:15. Blah! And these kilometers are taking forever because it's all just like climbing over rocks and cliffs. I did a big old river crossing that took me like 20 minutes. And then I gotta cross back over the river to the other side again. And I am freaking tired. I've already hiked 30 kilometers. And I was like, oh yeah, it's all flat. I'll do like 35 today. It's no big deal. Idiot. Ha! Ha! I should have known. Climbing along water never means really flat. And this, it's been walking through sand. It's been walking on cliff edges. It's been climbing over roots and trees. La 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 la. So I am not at camp yet. And I DK when I'm gonna get there. Probably like an hour. Yee.
Oh, I want you. Can't you see? I want you.
Okay, that was the last river crossing for the day. Wasn't so bad. It's just like slippery and kind of sharp. So it doesn't feel amazing on my feet, but the water is warm, so it's nice.
I believe 'cause I want you here with me. I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna go crazy for love.
I camped in this parking lot in this very small town beside the kayak shop. It's actually a very quiet, nice spot. So I am just about to a little town called Ballon-Pontarc, and I am meeting the 2 Belgian guys for coffee this morning. They hitched into town last night. I ran into them just near where I camped, and they're having a coffee, so I'm hiking there. And then there's a couple of little resupply items I need to go to the pharmacy. I need to find more fuel because I bought one at Decathlon and it barely lasted like a week. It's terrible. Yeah, and then I'll see what I'm doing. There's a campground like in 20 more kilometers, and there's a campground in like 23. And there might be other options, I don't know. I haven't spent too much time thinking about it this morning. I just got on the trail. Yeah, you'll never make it. Yeah, right? Ah, nature is so beautiful. Why? Why? So like an idiot, I left my trekking poles on the counter of the cafe where I bought a little beverage, but then I left town. So now it's like 2 kilometers. I have to go all the way back to get my trekking poles. So I asked this campsite if I could leave my backpack there at least, so I don't have to carry it all the way back. So stupid. And it's so hot out. Well, I have my trekking poles again. It's a fun little 4 kilometer round trip just to pick them up. And it's so hot. It's like 33 degrees or something stupid. Oh, I'm melting and now I'm grumpy. I just spent like 2 hours sitting in that campground in the shade, drinking like 1.5 liters of sparkling water because it's so friggin' hot. I feel like I'm gonna die. But I think it's, I don't know, I don't think it's cooled down at all, but I just gotta do things. So I'm going back out into the heat. I sat in that chair, I'd be transported to a dimension where it's not 35 degrees outside. It kind of looks like it. Scary mystery hole full of water. Where does it come from? Why is it here? Creepy. I don't want to drink that. It looks like soup. Gross. After a long hot day with not very much water, I was able to make it to a campground down by the river, and I ran into another Hexatrekker, Sylvan. And he had met another couple of campers there, and they invited us both to have dinner with them. So it was a really nice evening, and they fed us so much food and were super friendly. Good morning again. I stayed in a campground last night. Just honestly not my favorite way to stay anywhere because it's always noisy. People stay up late and then other people get up early. And it's always a bit of chaos. However, in this campground, I ran into another Hexatrekker that I met just yesterday or the day before, named Sylvan. And they put him on someone else's pitch. Intentionally, they squeezed him in, but then gave me my own, huge pitch, so, I don't know. I got there way later. Maybe they just were like, oh, okay, no one's coming for that reservation. But anyway, the sun is doing weird things. Anyway, so he was camped with this, family that has been coming to this particular campground for, 35 years. And they invited the both of us to dinner last night, because we were the only people that walked there, basically. They invited us over to dinner, and they barbecued chicken, and they had salad and dessert, and they were all so nice, and wine and drinks and whatever. They were just so kind and lovely, and they fed us. And then this morning she comes over as I'm packing up my tent and was like, I have a coffee for you. So she made me a coffee, and then she makes these energy bars for her husband because he likes to work out or whatever. So she gave me one of those. And she's just so cool, such a nice person. And yeah, that was really lovely. I've been getting lots of trail magic lately, which is making this kind of long, boring, flat section much more enjoyable. So shout out to the kindness of the wonderful strangers I've been meeting on trail, because you guys are lovely and I appreciate it so much. So much more of today has been in the shade. Oh, it's making it infinitely more tolerable than yesterday. Yesterday was brutal. And today we're climbing 1,200 meters, and so it's nice to have a bit of shade when it's 35 degrees. And carrying so much water because there's no water for 20 kilometers. Yay! just had to crawl into a hole to get this water. Look at it go. If you're gonna run into another Hexatrekker on this part of the trail, it's gonna be at a water source. So I bumped into Sylvan again and we camped together. It was another beautiful and very hot day on the Hexatrek.